Hey, what's going on guys, John here, and in this video we're going to be talking about iOS 16 and why the rumors of it not being supported any longer is probably going to be true. Now before we begin the video, I just want to apologize for the audio. I have a stuffy nose right now, but I thought just release a video for you guys anyways. So why don't we go ahead and just jump on into this dinosaur of a device that is still supported. Alright, so for any of you guys that are still running the iPhone 6s, you guys are legendary. You do have the S at the back here. No other devices have it any longer, which makes it a little bit more special, but you guys are no longer going to have support because of all of these reasons I'm going to mention in this video. Now, if you simply just go onto Google and just do a quick web search of the iPhone 6s iOS 16 supported devices, you'll see pretty much a bunch of news articles of devices that are not going to be supported, and it's not specific to the iPhone 6s. It includes the iPhone SE original, some iPads, the iPad Pro, some iPods. So this is not the only device, but this is the only iPhone that is going to be no longer supported. Now honestly, that's quite sad because the iPhone 6s had so much support throughout the years, and honestly is still running very well on iOS 15, but all of these reasons included, I'm going to say that Apple is doing it on purpose. Now let's make this interesting and keep a mental note of the battery percentage at the start of the video and at the end of the video. We're at 100% right now, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna drop, and that comes to my first point here. The battery is complete crap on the iPhone 6s, and we all know that. It's like a 7-8 year old device by now, and a lot of you guys are probably getting a roughly 1 to 2 hours at most running any apps on your device. Now if you're one of those gamers, you're probably gonna get even less battery life out of it. Now let's jump on inside the battery type here, which Apple has kindly given us. This is just to monitor what your battery life is and the health of it. Right now the health of this device is at 85%, so it's pretty bad to be honest. Now one thing you have to keep in mind is 85% on here versus on an iPhone 13 is not the same. An iPhone 13 at 85% is probably gonna last you throughout the entire day compared to this, so just take this number with a grain of salt. Now of course, talking about battery life, you can always replace a battery, but truly Apple does not want to do that just because they don't want to keep old batteries laying around, and that pretty much concludes point 1. Now on to the next one here. This is the storage capacity. You know, the iPhone 6s only has 64 gigabytes as the maximum, and I got that device, and we're getting a lot of available storage left because I don't use this device much, but I can see how 64 is not good enough with 4K, 8K recording, and all the app sizes getting so much bigger. On top of that, the iOS storage file size is a lot bigger as well. iOS 15.3, the developer's build, is roughly 4.5 gigabytes, and that's pretty much going to take up a big chunk of the device storage itself. Now on to number 3, the performance. The performance is not too good on iOS 15.3 on the iPhone 6s here, and I'm feeling it especially just when it gets really hot. Quickly jumping into Geekbench here, I did one prior to the video, and we have a score of 456 and 950 respectively, and that compared to any of the newer devices is just pure crap. So just taking that into consideration, you probably can tell why iOS 16 won't be supporting it. And we also ran a Sun Spider test here. There are scores with the iPhone 13 dropping under 100 milliseconds, whereas this iPhone 6s is still 300 milliseconds and above. Now up next is the heat. So just imagining opening up a couple apps here, which I'm going to do for you just while we're at it anyways. We have clock, we have camera, we have maps, we have a couple of things here, and right away you're feeling the CPU just heat up like crazy. Now I'm not sure if it's the CPU or the battery, but take my word for it guys, right at this little corner here it gets so hot to the point where you can't even touch it. Alright, so we're on to number 5 I think. This has to do with the UI. Apple really wants to synchronize between all the operating systems. Now pulling up from the bottom for Control Center just seems very counterintuitive compared to just pulling up from the top. That is what I'm used to, so I definitely think that this is something Apple wants to just line up with all the rest of the devices with the notch. So getting rid of this as the first step on the iPhone 6s is probably the right direction to go. Eventually they're gonna phase out the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, and then they're gonna have all notch devices, and then at that point pretty much everything is just gonna be a simple swipe from the top anyways. Alright, so just on to the next one here. The biggest reason probably is because this is the longest device to get updates ever. The iPhone 6s is one one of the special devices. Like I said, the one with the S at the back here. This is likely because of the awesome A9 processor, which is the king. It's the bionic processor that manages everything really well. And for that reason alone, it has gotten 7 updates in general. Making 8 the final number is just a little far-fetched because they do want to discontinue devices and make you upgrade to newer ones. If devices last forever, no one is going to upgrade. So that's probably the biggest reason ever. And for the final one, it really ties into this as well. And really, Apple just wants to get rid of it. There's nothing to it. I think this is it for this device. And if you guys are holding on to it, you're probably one of the lucky ones. I love my iPhone 6s so much. I'm going to be leaving it aside along with the rest of my older devices as well, just for memories. And if there are some bug fixes and enhancements, they're probably going to still give us updates as a part of the program. But in terms of just features, you're probably going to be stuck with what you have now. So go ahead and update to iOS 15.3 if you are a developer. That's probably the last update you'll ever get. I'm going to be testing it throughout the entire lifespan of this. If you guys want to see more videos on iOS 15.3 on the iPhone 6s, please let me know in the comments below and hit the subscribe button, that bell notification right up there if you haven't done so already. So anyways guys, this wraps it up for my reasons why the rumors are true. iPhone 6s is not going to support iOS 16. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is John once again. Peace out.